What's crack-a-lackin', all you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people? It's your boy, the Vaslap. It is FM26. Make Manchester United great again, episode number 12. And you guys are getting your first taste of European action. That's Europa League action. Got two games coming at you. First is a Premier League game, a must-win Premier League game, and a Europa League game. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave all of that jazz down below. Let's get to the game. And here we are in the game. As you can see, we're top of the table. 6 wins from 7, 1 draw, scored 18 goals, conceded only 6, goal difference of 12, 19 points. In terms of conceded, we are the third best team to concede. Only teams that have conceded less than us is, of course, Arsenal and Brentford. That's right. That is the team we drew against in the last game. Today, though, we are taking on Spurs. Sorry, I wanted to check this. We're taking on Spurs, who started off really, really good, and then have kind of dropped off a little bit down into 7th place. At one stage, we were the only 2 undefeated teams, but since then, they've had 2 draws and 2 losses. Only the 3 wins that they've had, whereas we've gone up and up. We and Arsenal, the only 2 undefeated teams in the Premier League so far. Arsenal did pick up 2 draws, so that's the only difference. So yeah, we're taking on our Spurs. In between them, between us and the Europa game is Wolves, so we're not going to really show the Wolves game, but we are going to show the Spurs game, and then we're going to show our Europa League game, which is against Brest in the Europa League. In terms of the Europa League, we're currently sitting 2nd in this log, just behind Maccabi Tel Aviv, who we do take on a bit later on in the campaign. The only difference is they've scored 2 more goals than what we have. They've had a little bit of an easier run, but we're looking good in the Europa League. It's still very early days in the Europa League, and we can have a look at the how we've done since the last time out. Of course, last time we beat Fulham and Everton. We then beat Bournemouth 3-1 in this one. Benjamin Sesko, Fernandes, and Constantelias yet again on the score sheet. The Brentford one was a 1-1 draw. We scored early on the 28th minute. They replied, and then it was pretty much a stalemate since then. Nothing much happened on that one. We then, in the Carabao Cup, a fully rotated squad, beating Birmingham 1-0 thanks to Dahl's goal on that one. And then we did beat Spurs in the league. This was their downfall. It started 4-0 drumming of Spurs. Goal scored by Frattesi, Constantelios, Angelino, and Mbuemo. In the Europa League, we beat Fenerbahce 3-1. Did have 10 men, although Fernandes did get sent off in the 89th minute, so he won't be available for the Brest game. But Sesko picked up a hat-trick in this one, and then against Brighton, beating them 2-1. Had a little bit of an early scare when they equalized after Angelino's goal, but Lenny Yoro stepped up from the corner and headed us into the lead and winning that game. In the Europa League, 2nd game, taking on Liga, who are currently last in the Europa League. Angelino scoring 1 and Benjamin Sesko scoring 2. And our most recent game against Chelsea, 2-0, Constantelias picking up both goals in there. That rich reign of form of Constantelias means that he is going to start for the Spurs game and is keeping the likes of Cunha out on the team. In other news, Cunha is recovering slowly. He is match fit, but he's looking good. So I'm going to keep him on the bench. We're going to start George ahead of him for now. I've been playing Cunha on that right-hand side since Mbuemo's been struggling a little bit with fitness and keeps picking up slight knocks every now and then. Another man that I want to talk about is Delgado here. He recovered from his injury, and then we can have a look here. He picked up another injury. We played like 6 minutes of the Spurs under 21 game, and then got a moderate knee ligament sprain, and he's now out for what is another 7 weeks, I think it is 6 weeks. He's out, and he's been out for 7 weeks. So that's 2 major injuries that he's had in the last 6 months, I guess. But yeah, he's becoming a little bit of a concern when it comes to injury updates. You can see his injury susceptibility is extremely high. So yeah, we are going to just keep an eye on him. Don't know if he gets another major injury. I think we might have to let him go, and we're not going to really see how he has performed. And then lastly, Hein is leaving the building. He's going to join Al Ahly for 20 million on the 1st of January. Al Ahly bought Materazzi from us as well. And they actually have quite a nice little thing. They also bought Altai from us. So they're kind of just grabbing up all the old Manchester United players there. Ivan Toney, another one there. I actually had a look at him as a potential option instead of Lyle Foster, but his wages was just ridiculously high, so that was never going to be an option for us. The rest of the team, I had a look at their team, look if there was anyone else that I was interested in. There was one man that piqued my interest in his abilities, and I really thought that he could be a good little player to bring in, and that's Mateusz Goncalves. Yeah, we scouted him a little bit. We got some reports. I like him. And as a potential maybe long-term prospect, I think he could be. I'm going to rescout him again. Get the loan. I think I might have deleted the run report, but you can see physicals, the natural fitness. If that goes to 16 and his stamina goes to 14, I think we could be looking at a real good player here. He was bought from Flamengo for 7 million. He's currently worth 10 to 13. Decent little contract as well, so we could pick him up for a little bit cheaper. But yeah, it's just some players around Al Ahly that I was just having a look at and scouting a little bit further into it, getting a little bit more into them. But anyway, with that being said, let's have a look at the starting lineup against Spurs. Got to go through all the pages. Verbruggen in goals. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. De Ligt, Scalvini, and Yoro continuing in the defense. The three of them have been absolutely good. I don't think I spoke about Scalvini. Did I speak about him? I think we only signed him towards the end of the transfer special. Yeah. 68 million. Brought him in. This is after Hein got a bit of aggression towards us and didn't wanted to start. We needed a backup player. Hein wasn't willing to put in the performances and then got a little pissy with us and we had to sell him. Picked up Giorgio Scalvani and he has been literally a first-team player since then. Unfortunately, it does mean the likes of Eduardo Quaresma, who we paid a lot of money for him, 61 million. Hasn't really delivered. The 6.95, it's been average, but he's come in as a substitute every now and then, playing on the right and the left. He can play everywhere across the back, so he is quite a versatile little centre back for us. It does mean that I was thinking of maybe loaning out Jonathan Norby for the season, but then no one wanted to buy him on loan, so we couldn't really loan him out in time. And then, like I said, we've sold Hein as well. In the midfield, we've got Rachu and Angelino continuing on the wing backs. Rachu has grown some English from Al Hilal. They did make an offer, which we did refuse just before the transfer window closed. They were offering only us, like, I think it was 28 million. I tried to push it up to about 60. They said no, and that was it. They never made another offer, and I'm glad they never made an offer because he is good. He is good, and we do like him in the squad. Bertesi and Bruno Fernandes continue in the midfield. Bruno Fernandes, I've been questioning his abilities at the moment. Seems like he's a little bit on the decline at 32 years of age. But I am going to trust him in this game and then start bringing in Kobe Mainu through the rest of the season. I think could be an option. Mainu has performed quite well, and I think that is just the natural replacement. We do also have Chris Rigg, who can easily step up into that position as well and improve, who has actually played a handful of games. And not a bad little result from the young Englishman. Up front, Tariq George he's been giving a little bit of an upsetness at us. He's only played 4 games, has scored 1 goal in the Premier League. We're going to start him ahead of Cunha, just giving Cunha a little bit more time to rest. And then Constantelias has been absolutely fantastic in the Premier League. 7 played, 5 goals, 1 assist. Can't ask for much more than that from the Greek 23-year-old. He's really proving to be quite the asset, quite a good buy. But of course, we've got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend that is Benjamin Sesko. 9 played in total, 9 goals scored, 5 in the Europa League in 2 games, 4 in the Premier League in 6. This man is just absolutely mind-bogglingly good. Currently valued at 83 million. We paid 66 million from RB Leipzig rather, and you can see the return has been. He's a quarter of the way that we scored last season. So we're hoping to hit that double figures in the Premier League this season from the double digits again this season into the 20s is where I'm hoping. We're going to talk a little bit about Lyle Foster. Yeah, he's only played, 7 games for us, yet to score a goal for us. He's been a little bit sus in the up front department. He's had some good clear-cut chances, especially in the Brentford game. He did play because Šeško was injured, and he hasn't really produced that Burnley season from a couple of years ago. You know, that's the one I was talking about before they went to the Championship. He was on fire for the first half. I'm hoping he can progress a little bit better, because we have the likes of Obi, who's been on the cusp a little bit. He's been playing a couple of under-21 games. I was trying to look at loaning him out. And 14 from 4 last season is enough for me to consider maybe dropping Lyle Foster for a little bit. The South African me gets a little bit upset about that. But let's go to the game. Let's take on Tottenham. That is the team that's starting. We need to keep the pressure up against Arsenal and keep at top of the table. And kickoff is underway. Of course, last video you guys saw we had a crash. We haven't had a crash since then. There was a hotfix as well in the interim as well. I think it came out yesterday. And you know what? We're doing well. We're doing good. We're doing all right. I mean, we're doing more than all right. We haven't lost a game this season, and I'm hoping to keep that going for a little bit while longer. Romero comes into Kulusevski. Bentancur to Kulusevski, takes the shot, and that is not the ideal start. That is not the ideal start. I feel like they got through that very, very quick today. That was a little bit... Oh, that wasn't good. Yeah, I kind of... Oh, that was a bit annoying, actually, to be completely honest. That finish there between Yoro and De Ligt. I don't know who to blame there for the through pass there. I think even maybe... I mean, Scalvani and Yoro, rather. There was a bit of a question there. I don't know. Fernandez now, kickoff highlight for Tazy. Bring it forward to Rachu. A quick reply here would be absolutely fantastic for Tazy. Rachu bringing it forward. Nicely done again. And Sarr gets the tackle in. There's going to be a throw in. Is that the highlight? Is that what we get? No, we're going to get the highlight for the throw as well. They're extending this one quite a bit. For Tracy. Rachu back to Fratesi. De Ligt. Goes down to Rachu. Nice space with Rachu on the edge there of the box. Bringing it forward, coming all the way in. It's bobbled around. And look who it is. It's Yannis Konstantelias again. The number 20 steps up. And that is an almost instant reply from Manchester United. That's what we love to see. Rachu did all the hard work here. But who did it bounce off in the end? It came off Vicario. Slipped right through there. And Konstantelias was the fastest to react. It went through Šeško's legs from what I could see there. That was a brilliant little finish from the Greek international. That's another goal to his name. He has been absolutely vital on that left-hand side. So much so that he's keeping Matheus Cunha out of the squad currently, because he has just been that good. Angelino now with the corner. Goes to the near post, looking for Šeško. That could have been two. We've seen Šeško score a header as well. In fact, the hat-trick that he scored in the Europa League was with all the Holy Grail hat-trick. Left foot, right foot, and a header. So he can score some headers. He is a tall, lanky boy and can put them in the back of the net when need be. Pedro Porro trying to beat Angelino, and he does quite easily. But Angelino's back to look at that defensive. They're like little pit bull just running after him and keep running. Konstantelias, beautiful ball into Benjamin Šeško. And try to go for placement rather than power. But on the goal-scoring form that Šeško and Konstantelias are in, you could have bet that would have been a goal. That looked so good. Oops, sorry, I clicked there by accident. As we move towards the end of the half, we are playing a lot better than Spurs, especially statistically wise. Possession, we never really keep a lot of possession. We kind of hit on counter-attacks a lot of the time against the bigger oppositions. The smaller teams, we tend to dominate possession. I don't change any instructions or anything. And there you go. Leny Yoro, back post from a Bruno Fernandes free kick. We're saying Bruno wasn't really performing it much. I mean, I suppose it's a dead ball situation. But Leny Yoro puts that in the back of the net. The VAR is still broken. The hotfix hasn't fixed that. But there we go. He looks like he's onside. I mean, it's close. But Leny Yoro rises above everybody else. And that's another vital goal from the young Frenchman. Love to absolutely see it. Verbruggen goes long to Konstantelias. Can't find his man. But Saar brings it back in for Klevensky. Fernandez does a great little tackle there. He's really putting in a shift today, Bruno. Angelino now with some pace on that wing. Bringing it forward. Cuts it back into Constantellas. Bruno Fernandez! It took a wicked deflection of Mickey van der Ven. It's still going to count for Bruno. Constantellas picks up the assist. And I was just saying what a game Bruno is having. An assist and a goal now in the first half. Look at this. This was all Angelino. Beautiful pass to Constantellas. Turned, laid it off for Bruno. One-time shot. Van der Ven stuck his foot out and sent it completely the wrong way. I think Vicario might have actually had that covered if Van der Ven didn't get a foot there. But it's going to count for us. It is going to be 3-1. It is going to be a Bruno Fernandes goal. Because last time we played Spurs just a couple of weeks ago, we beat them 4-0. Currently, it's 3-1. And I'm going to back the boys a little bit more here. They are doing absolutely fantastic in this game. And second half is underway. Fernandez doing a little bit of a professional foul in there. There's going to be a highlight from that free kick, though. Porro to launch it into the box. No, he's going to go short instead. Saar. Back to Porro. Finding Mickey van der Ven to make up for his mistake. And he was offside. So this is going to be one of those long extended highlights. I was going to say Van der Brent. It's not. Verbruggen, rather. The other Belgium player that we have. Scalvani to Fracey. Shesko playing deeper. Tyreek George has been very quiet this game already, and that's not how you break into the first team, Georgie. That's not how you break into the first team. All right, we're moving on, though. I am looking at the likes of George and Angelino, who are not playing great at the moment, although Angelino did have an amazing run forward. Defensively, Scalvani and De Ligt haven't actually had much to do other than the goal, which was a little bit interesting. I just see Ratu just picked up a bit of a knock. Yeah, I think we're going to take him off. Let's see what happens after this highlight. Rioro goes to Scalvani. Fernandez. Beautiful ball into Shesko. George cuts through. Constantellas is through on goal. Tyreek George and Constantellas link up. And that's his second of the game from the Greek. Remember the name, guys. Yannis Constantellas. We picked him up as a little bargain buy last summer. And Yannis Constantellas with a little tap-in finish. Absolutely brilliant. I think he was bought from PAOK in Greece. That's where he currently plays in the real world. Where did you come from, Constantellas? We can't check here. Can we career stats so we can go? We did buy him from PAOK. 30 million. 30 million. That is a really good signing for us. Okay, Ratu, you are going to come off. You're looking injured. Van Brent come in there. Van der Brempt, rather. Elsewhere, Shesko not playing great. You know what, Lyle Foster, it's a type of game where you can try and sneak something in there. We're keeping an eye on Fernandez and Constantellas. They're looking a little bit tired. I want to leave them out for a little bit longer. Maybe we can pick up a fifth and allow Foster goal, or even Constantellas hat-trick would be absolutely brilliant to see. I kind of want George and Foster to get on the score sheets, though. They kind of desperately need to show me what they're worth, to show me how good they can be. We are going to make that swap, though. Bruno is looking a little bit tired there. He's 32 years old. He's a little bit on the older side. We're going to bring in Kobe. You know what? Rig. Rig is coming in. It's a type of game that Rig can really do something. Scalvani not playing great. Heaven come in there. We're going to play straight down the middle. We've been playing Heaven a little bit more in the central this season, with Eduardo on the right and Norby on the left. Those are the backup options. But we are doing absolutely fantastic. I'm happy with this. Like I said, I kind of want Lyle Foster and George to score a goal. Hopefully we can maybe score a fifth. That could be something good. I don't know. But it looks like this game is probably going to end 4-1 by the looks of it. We've got 4 minutes of extra time. Nothing else much has happened. I say that. And there's a highlight in the 92nd minute with Vicario bringing out from the back. Udogi goes back to Van der Ven, who's still yet to redeem himself for that third goal. Saar bringing it forward. This is James Madison. Nice to see him not injured for a change. Kudos is through. That looked offside. It is going to be offside. Kept their lines there. That was actually all the Heaven taking that step forward to put him offside, which is smart defending from the youngster. I really, really have a lot of hope in Heaven here. And there's a line for you. Look at that Heaven. Look how deep he was there. And then he realized he was so deep, so he just took that step forward. And Kudos was way offside in the end. I don't know if it was a step forward or he just stopped walking. He was like, I'm just going to stand dead still. I know I'm the last defender. Kudos has run past me. There's no reason to track back. And that was smart. It is a 4-1 victory over Tottenham. Absolutely fantastic. We love to see it. I'm going to deal with the Wolves game off camera, and we're coming back for the match against Brest. Guys, we're back for the Brest game. We beat Wolves 4-1. A little bit of a rotated squad in that one. This was the team that started. Like I said, a little bit of rotated. Riggs started, Mateus and Van der Brent and Dorgu all started in that game. Ratu was looking a little bit tired from the last game, so he was put onto the bench. He's looking fit and ready to go. We're taking on Brest in this game. I am going to make the little swaps and putting in Angelino and Van der Brent off. And we'll put Ratu back on, and then Rig for Fernandez. We'll give Fernandez. He's back from his suspension, so he's good. Quaresma is injured, so he won't be able to come because we get the extra members on the bench as well, which is nice. Gives the likes of Collier, Obi, and Foster a little bit of a chance to try and break into the squad. And Mbeumo is almost back to full fitness, by the way, which will then really cause a bit of chaos up front because Cunha has been playing well. He played well against the Wolves game. Got a goal and an assist in that one. George came on as the bench. Didn't do great for us. But yeah, we are continuing on. Xesco, Constantelias, Mateus, Cunha, Fernandez, Fratesi, Angelino, Ratu, Rioro, Scalvani, De Ligt, and Van der Braggen. Just Verbraggen. Norby, he's not registered for the Europa. We couldn't register him because of the under homegrown play. Well, Masson, come on there. Masson? Got to do it that way. Forgot. Still buggy. Anyway, let's go to the game against Brest. And the game is underway. Bruno Fernandes bringing the ball forward for us as we enter the European stage yet again. First time you guys are seeing it. Like I said, we've had 2 good games in Europe against Fenerbahce and Levia. This is probably one of the most difficult matches we have in the Europa, I think. Brest, of course, former Champions League contenders. They made it to the knockout stages once before, so there's that to consider. Ratu covering in back post to Benjamin Xesco. 4 minutes in. That's his 6th goal in 3 games for Benjamin Xesco. Keeping up his average on scoring goals. Actually scored a goal against Wolves as well, which is always great to see Benjamin Xesco. He's really racking them goals up right now. And you love to see it. You absolutely 100% love to see a striker like that just scoring goals for fun, really. And that's kind of what we've been doing a lot lately. I mean, we scored 4 against Spurs. We scored 4 against Wolves. Dare I say it, maybe we can score 4 against Brest as well and really, really hammer down this more attacking, more fluid style that we do play. It's really been night and day from last season to this season how this tactic has evolved. And just getting the right roles in, it plays such a huge role. Like FM24, the roles, individual roles, and that sort of stuff. I don't think it made too much of a difference. I mean, if you just got a little bit of a good tactic, and you set the basis correct on the tactic, you could have tweaked it anyway, and you'll always get a result. These ones, this year to FM26, there's a lot more reliance on player roles. I feel, at least, when it comes to building a tactic and team roles as well. Even the in and out possession plays a huge part in. And there you go, Lenny Yoro. I guess that's a corner goal. I guess that's a set piece goal. We've been doing quite well on our set pieces as well. We've really, really had to step up that game as well when it comes to set pieces. Brought in a brand new set piece coach as well, and he's really taken to heart the assignment. Kubert got a foot to it, but all it did was just help it into the back of the net. 2-0 just before halftime. And we're looking good against Brest. I mean, we've had 7 shots, 2 on target. Our goal in these games are just to absolutely dominate teams, and that's what we're doing. Not in terms of possession, just in terms of just getting the ball forward. It's a more direct approach rather than a patient build-up. But when we get to the final third, we do slow it down a little bit, and it allows the likes of like Constantelius and Cunha to get into the game a little bit more as the inside forwards. And when we lose that position, they do move out a little bit more central. So it helps the team really build up from the back, which I absolutely love to see. Speaking of which, Constantelius not having the best of games at the moment. In fact, I think it is time for Constantelius to make way. We're going to bring on Dahl to play there, and then Nuno can move back to his more preferred left-hand side. Dahl, every time we've brought him on in the Europa League, has scored a goal for us. Fernandez, I'm taking off as well. And we're going to bring in Kobe Mainoo to play there, giving him a little bit more game time. I let Riggs start against Wolves just to get some minutes under his belt as well. But I really do see at this point the future going forward will probably be Riggs and Mainoo playing in that central, Mainoo on the right, Riggs on the left. But it does mean I might need to change Kobe Mainoo's or Fratesi's role in the game. The CMDM maybe doesn't play up nicely to Mainoo's performances. Nothing has happened since we made that swap. I'm going to make some more. Fratesi's going to come off. We're going to bring on Rig, play there, and we're going to do what my future envisions on that one. Elsewhere, I want to give Foster a run as well. Let him play. And you know what? Ratu has played well. He's coming back from injury. Campson, come and get your debut, son. Get your debut, son. Why not? Last 7 minutes. We're looking good. They've got a corner now. Am I going to regret this? Corner for Brest goes in. De Ligt clears it. Not as far out as we had hoped, but Del Castillo trying to bring it back in for Brest. He does very well. Takes a thunderous shot there from Guindo. And that is a goal for Brest. Now do I panic? Did I get a little bit too confident bringing in Lyle Foster and Camerson? Oh, that was just not good defending from us. Look at him. Look how much open space he has there. Who's that? Cunha. Cunha should have dropped a little bit and he didn't. It's going to be a nervy last 10 minutes or so. But Bragan maybe could have done a bit better. They're running the ball back. Is there going to be just a straight-off kickoff highlight? Window's holding it. He's wasting time. There we go. Took him 10 seconds to put the ball down. And there's going to be a kickoff highlight. There's going to be De Ligt. Scalvani bringing it forward for us. Yoro. Mainoo. Beautiful ball in for Mateus Cunha. And that was a poor pass to Angelino. And he's given the ball away. And now Brest are moving the ball forward again. Mbop brings it forward. He's got options in the box. One of them is there, and he balloons his shot. That was Ajork. Ajork? I don't know how you pronounce his name. Ajorque. Ajork. I don't know. 3 minutes left of stoppage time. And that's it. That's it. That's fine. We've taken the win. I'll take a 2-1 victory over that one. A very short game in terms of what we've been having. But, yeah, that was good. That was good. We got it. We're good. We're fine. I'm happy with that. The victory is good. We're happy. You can see the sea of green continues. And I think I'm hoping it's going to continue until the next time you see us, which I'm going to play quite a lot of football off camera. Because like I said, I want to get through these seasons a lot quicker. So we're going to skip basically the whole of November and December. I think I'm coming back in January sometime. We'll see around where. We do have DAC 1904 and Stuttgart with Bournemouth, Brighton around there. We've got Arsenal and Liverpool coming up in February. I think we might be coming back for that one. We'll see. I'll play it by ear. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Some very, very nervy times in the end against Brest, but hopefully we can continue the winning streak towards the end of the season as we move towards January. We're going to play right through all of that. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos so far. Hit a like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, parents, grandparents, lovers, and haters to join in on the fun. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. Your boy, the Vaslap, is out of here. Peace. Chicken grease.